Oh, maybe we need to get into that a little bit. Locks, there he is.
What's going on?
I was
Hey,
wondering if you
man.
coming on, dog. You missed the sound check, bro. What's up?
I mean, I'm always sounding good though.
You're good. You sound okay. You sound okay. How you been,
y'all
bro?
been?
Good.
You know?
Good.
Smooth like
Well,
butter.
just so you know, we're already live. We're just counting it down. We're just me and Sean, we're catching up a little bit. I usually just run it live about 10 minutes early.
Yeah.
Just in case folks want to jump in, you know. And then sometimes I have like this little intro that I create. I'm working on it because it's not that good. Sometimes I'll play that before I go on. But sometimes I'll just like if I start this little countdown early, I'll just once it's ready, we just go. You know, I'll do a brief little, you know, welcome to the show type of thing, and then that's it, man. We just kick it. So how you been, man?
Busy like y'all.
Yeah.
You know, you know,
Yeah,
trying
what
to
do you
figure it all
like
out.
in the theater room? You look like in a theater or something.
Yeah, you know, it's the room for it's the theater room. That's exactly what it is.
Sir Locks.
Yeah, man. It's
Hey,
a multi-purpose.
Oh, it's a multi-purpose room?
Now, you know, you gotta make it in your office. You know,
Yeah.
kids be on the tablets all day anyway, so they don't even care about a big screen TV. It's crazy.
Is that the room where you put something in the air, or what's up?
Man, no, this one has no windows, so
Oh, that's even better.
What are you using for light?
Huh?
What are you using for light?
I got a lamp.
No
You need
windows,
more?
You got a lamp? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see y'all, man. It's been forever, bro.
No, man, I know, man. I feel like we missed an opportunity, but I'm glad to see that you kept your passion with the live stream. Me, I'm doing my thing with my channel and stuff like that. Locks, you got anything on the side you doing, man? What's up?
Raising these kids.
Hey, it's never too late, bro. It's never too late. It's never too late.
Now, you know, the wife just finished up school, so that, you know, she went for her MBA, so that took up a lot of time. So now.
Oh, tell her I said congrats, man. That's a major accomplishment.
I know, I worked hard. I made at least 2 dinners that whole year, you know.
You made what?
So I helped create at least 2 dinners. You know, stepped up.
Yeah, right there, right. If you could put that mic just a little bit closer, that was perfect. Can you move it closer?
Right here.
No. So you boiling noodles now? What's up?
Man, OG ramen chef.
Dude, I had ramen today too while you bullshitting.
I'm saying, you can't. Those are life skills.
Yo, it's classic. It's in the kitchen right now, man.
Yeah.
Y'all got me ready to do something after this. Got to cook me.
My wife was gone all day, and I don't really know how to fend for myself when it comes to food. But I can make some noodles. But actually, my son made them for me.
How do Mike now?
Man, I'm a chef.
Oh, much better. It's good. So where the kiddos at now, man? They in the bed? Is it bedtime?
It's supposed to be, but they getting ready. They brushing their teeth and all that stuff. I was like, I got an important meeting. She's like, I've been talking about it all week. She was like, and then she finally asked me, what's the meeting about today? And I was like, go see my soul bros. And she was like, okay. I'll take care of the kids.
Here's the thing, and we can discuss this further later. But I think all that YouTube channel that we did and all that stuff is still there.
Okay.
So I was telling, I put in our Facebook thread, I was like, this is kind of like what I was thinking about back before COVID. We were talking about getting together, but I didn't know about StreamYard because remember we were trying to figure out a way how we could do it. Yeah. And we were trying to Zoom thing, and that just wasn't even working, and it was just like, it was crazy.
Yeah, cutting us off at like what, 45 minutes?
Yeah, exactly. So Freak turned me on to this because he has a guy that does a lot of videos on Instagram, and I watched him on that guy's show, and I was like, man, how did he get all you guys on there like that? Oh man, it's this thing called StreamYard. Dude, I went on it. It's like, this is what I've been trying to get, and so now it's like it's so easy. You know, we just send the link out. Now you have to pay a subscription, but I'm good with that.
It's worth it.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I can have up to 10 people on here, right? For 8 hours.
How much is the subscription?
Well, they got a couple different ones. They got one for like $24.99, and they got one for $49.99. That's if you want to go like HD, things like that. It's a little bit higher. But I think I paid mine is like I'll pay the higher one.
Yeah,
the 45 or $49.99.
That's good.
And I just have more options, you know. I'm trying to upgrade the camera. A lot of cats there with some nice cameras with like, but I'm like, all right, I'm gonna chill. I'm good right now, you know. I'm good. Don't need to get crazy because I'll be quitting shit sometimes. But I've been doing this, man, since I don't know, was it March? Not March. Not March. It's been about 2 months. I was trying to do like once a week, but it's been more like once every 2 weeks. I'm able to get on. I've already done one that's remote. Like I
saw that one.
You see that one? Yeah.
I saw that. I was like, he's in a restaurant type.
Yeah, I was in a restaurant, dude. That's the thing. All you need is an internet connection, right? If you got a good internet connection, you just plug it up and just boom, you're in there. So I love going remote. I'm going to actually, what's up? A buddy of mine here also has his own gym, and they had like their 5-year anniversary on Saturday. I took all my stuff to do it on Saturday, but when I got there, they didn't have enough space and they didn't have enough. There was too many people in there, so I didn't get a chance to do it. But I will do that soon. So that's kind of what I want to do too. Like, I want to start going remote places. Sometimes I don't know if it's the one I did in my backyard. I was talking to my son.
Yeah. Was the fresh pair of glasses that day?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I had like a whole little Ellen set up back there with my lawn chairs and shit. But that bell means it's 9:00, guys. So that means we are live on the air. I want to welcome everybody to the Greg Green live stream. I certainly appreciate you. Those that are here, I got a couple folks on already. I appreciate you. And as always, don't forget, if you haven't done so already, to subscribe over on YouTube. Now, remember, I'm streaming on a couple different platforms. So depending on where you're watching, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, streaming live right now. So if you haven't done so already, whatever platform you're watching on, go ahead and subscribe. All right. And hit that bell. Does that say that right, Sean? Hit the bell.
Hit the bell as well.
So what I'm gonna need, what I'm gonna need you guys to do though right now, while we're on this topic, are y'all on? You got your phones out? You need to pop it up on Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you on it right now.
Go on there and look at yourself, and then you can hit that share and tell all your friends, yo, check me out. I'm live right now. Right? So all of my friends, all the people that I know, which aren't very many people, I've already tapped into them, right? So they've already liked me, and sometimes they watch, sometimes they don't. It's all good. So now I was just telling Sean before you came on that I need to tap into those folks that let me take off this let's get that out of there. Tap into the folks that don't know me. And I know you guys, and we're gonna, by the way, I'm gonna introduce you guys to my two guys right here in a little bit. Two local guys here in Austin. But I need to tap into y'all's, people that know y'all's friends. Not necessarily your audience, but your friends. Right? So make sure you share that on Facebook and let your friends know that you are live on Facebook right now. We'll talk about a little bit of hip hop today. That's what we're going to do a little bit. That was the assignment, was to rank a few releases that came out this year in hip hop, right? And we talked about this. What, like a week ago, a little bit more than a week ago. So everybody should have had time to evaluate, listen to some things that just came out. I was telling Sean that, you know, I would have, if he had said that, I would have never known about Sky Zoo. And when I put that on, bro, I was like, wow. Now I slid him in my rankings after 2 listens. I need to hear more though, but remember, so when as far as my, and I guess I'm going to go with top 5. And they're not necessarily my top 5, but the 5 that came out, because one, I was just a little bit like, what happened there? You could probably imagine which one that is, or guess. But
I can guess what that is.
And I saw your post about that, Sean, too, where you were like, hey, you know, it was pretty good. It was okay. Why is everybody tripping? Yeah. But I need to hear more of that one. But we'll get there in a little bit. But yeah, so if we can get it down to 5, if you get a few more, it's fine. We're talking about, you know, the 5, or not 5, but just recent releases in hip hop that have come out in 2021. Now let me tell you guys a little bit about sort of like my method or the way I listen to music, and then what I kind of like what I like to hear when I'm listening to somebody's album. Because I know nowadays, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but nowadays, you know, like if I'm riding the car with my son and he's like, Dad, you know, can I DJ? Right. He wants to play his music from his phone. Like, yeah, go right ahead. He's like, you know, he plays a song, he'll skip it to another song or another artist. You know, he doesn't necessarily even have a playlist of different artists. He's just got his phone. He's just like, it's picking a song and it's jumping. And sometimes he'll change songs in the middle of a song. I'm like, bro, I'm listening to that. Like, it's not over yet. Like, I just heard that song for the first time. It's kind of like these kids listen to it. I'm like, I was kind of feeling that one. And you changed. Oh, I thought you knew. Anyway, but if something comes out, like, you know, let's like Nas, we're gonna talk about Nas a little bit later. Nas or Cole or Kendrick or whoever, if they come out with something, I'm listening to it. I'm gonna put it on, and I'm gonna start it, and I'm gonna listen to it from front, you know, from start to finish. That's how I do it. And sometimes I may be on a walk or exercising or whatever, and sometimes I may not even finish it in one setting. But when I get a chance, I'll go back to it. So why don't y'all share with me a little bit about how you guys listen to albums when they come out? I'll start with you, Sean.
It's honestly the same way, bro. Like, I don't have Spotify or anything like that. I just know what artists I like. I try to stay hip to, you know, someone who's lyrical. Like, I wish we were doing this last year, because From a King to a God would have been on this list. That's Conway. Like, that album is tough. Like, so I recommend you check that out. But yeah, man, honestly, I just download it. It's on my phone. If I go to the car, let me go ahead and swipe this. Right. If I go to the car, I'll either put the album on, or I got like a list of tracks that I just picked from the album that I listened to. Right. So I'll listen to it full through. I'll be like, oh yeah, this one's going in the car. Right. Or this one's going in the car. So I might have like maybe 3, 5, 8, 2 just picked out from, and I just got them a compilation of things that I know are just gonna bump when I'm riding. So that's kind of how I do it. But if it's an artist that I really love, it don't matter what's on there. I'm listening to the whole damn thing. And,
I'm glad before I get to you, Lox, I'm glad you mentioned like what you put in the car. That's like if it goes in the car, it's like, it's a good one, right? Yep. I'm sort of the same way. Like, I like to listen to music loud. So I need to hear it like either with my headphones on, or like when I'm rolling the car, when you roll in the car by yourself, you can have the shit up as loud as you want to, right? If you got the kids or the wife in the car, it's like, turn it down or whatever, you can't really enjoy it. Yeah. But if you by yourself and you got the little lean going, I got my little soccer mom car. I don't give a fuck. If I'm bumping some stuff, man, if I'm bumping, I'm turning it up and it sounds good. Yeah. Locks, my man. How do you listen to records for the first time?
Man, like you said with the kids and the wife, it's like, all right, I might be controversial how much I let my kids listen to, so I really had the headphones on, or it's, hey babe, I'm husband of the year moment right here. Hey babe, you need to get anything from the store? Be like a whole album worth of a 5-minute drive turns into a whole album later. I'll be like, yeah, I'm back. Oh, I forgot something.
Right.
So, but I try to listen to it from beginning to end. I try not to skip songs the first time.
Right.
I try not to. Sometimes you got to skip them. You're like, yeah, this is just not. It's not working for me. I don't cut it off forever though. Like I'll come back and listen to it after I've played out my favorite tunes a couple times. And I'm like, all right, now that I understand the mindset of this artist during this album, let me try it again. But
That's how
that's
dope. That's dope. Well, I know you guys are. Well, I'm not gonna say y'all are young, just younger than me. But I feel like y'all have old souls, when it comes to music.
Got old body too. No.
So before we get into y'all's list, there's a couple of we all have our biases, right? Whether it's the artist, or whether it's the type of music they do or put out, or the vibe that they're putting out. But for me, there's a couple things as far as my reaction goes that I'm looking for, and I covered this. And when I first sort of did like a brief reaction to Nas's new release, which by the way I just can't say enough about it. It's just amazing to me. And I told you guys a long time ago, I've never been like a huge Nas guy, but this man. But his album has all these three things that I'm looking for as far as my reaction goes, right? The first thing I'm looking for are really good beats, right? I like beats that bump. I like beats that, like if I'm on a walk listen to it, I'll just like, whoa, I'll break out to like a dance move. Or if I'm in my car, I'll a little bounce when I'm with it. So I like nice beats. And they don't always have to be like strong, like dance beats, but just really good sounding beats that just make you bump your head. You know what I'm saying? Those type. Bars, solid bars, people that make sense, that are clever, that aren't just saying rhymes that don't mean anything. I guess everything means something to the artist that's putting it out there, and we don't always interpret it the same way that they do. But I want bars that I could resonate with. Like, oh yeah, I get that. Or that was funny what he said, or how he did that wordplay. That was great. And sometimes I'll just like slide the what did he say? Slide it back again.
What did he say?
Yeah. Something that you can't repeat after listening to it in one time. You wouldn't be able to say it again, right? And it's just so clever. And the third and final one, as far as my reaction goes, is, are there any songs that gives me goosebumps? Have you ever heard a song that when it came on, you literally got to chill and you got goosebumps and you're like, oh, that was
hard. That new Nas got about 4 of those, maybe more. Like the whole record. The whole record.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you this. You may not be big on Nas, but like anyone who knows me, they know he's my number one MC. I've been bumping him since 9-6.
Right.
Like first time I heard Nas was by accident on some kids shit, right? Because I was my dad was in the music and I saw the cassette, and the cassette was for the single Street Dreams. If you remember that cassette, it was a cartoon. It was like a homeless guy walking up to like a Mercedes, getting $1 from someone out the window of the Mercedes. So from a kid perspective, I was like, oh, this album, it's cartoon. It looks cool. I put it on, Street Dreams, and the B-side was If I Ruled the World. From then, I've just been rocking with Nas the entire time. So, and you said something that resonates with me as far as the beats, because Nas is he gets criticized for not having dope beats.
Right.
Me personally, I've never seen that with Nas. Like for me, he's like, okay, right, he picked this beat for a reason. Or I'm not listening to Nas for the beat. I'm listening for that wow factor as far as the bars. kind of like what you said as far as like, yo, what did he say? Let me rewind that. So that's why I've always gravitated towards Nas. I've always learned something from him, and I feel like he was like a second father figure or like an older brother, because he was spitting so much and like making me question so much when I was coming up as a kid. I feel like it helped me move as I gotten older, and I've made a lot of wise decisions just based on things I remember from his rhymes. So that's pretty cool. So I'm proud that he is getting like a lot of recognition with this particular record, especially with people who don't listen to him on a regular. So I'm just like, yo, I'm really bigging him up as far as like this record goes. This one and the last one. The last one was hard too, but this one right here, this is classic Nas stuff. And to your other point, I would say one of those wow factors for me on this one is going to be Store Run. That's like quintessential Nas. It's got a little bit of throwback. It's got that soulfulness to it. So I'm really enjoying this record, man.
Yeah, I know. And nowadays, and I'm gonna get you in a sec, Sir Locks, with kind of like what you're looking for in when you're hip hop artist or a record. A lot. There's so much music out there right now. I know for me, like when I was younger, when something came out, people just played it over and over and over again. Even not just on the radio, but when you're playing it yourself, you just keep playing it. Well, nowadays there's so much music out there. It feels like as soon as you hear one thing, something else is out. So you're listening to that one. You're kind of like going back and forth. So sometimes you might listen to something that you like, a few times before, some other stuff's come out and you're on to listen to something else. But with this one, I just keep going back to it. So that's what I like. So Sir Locks, my man, what are some of the things that kind of like get your juices flowing in a hip hop artist?
I think honestly, like the beats are there. But I feel like nothing's worse than some whack bars on a great beat. I feel like that's just like the ultimate. Just don't give that person a mic anymore. But the beats need to be there, and you need to have like a solid beat. Like we gotta shout out. We can't talk hip hop and not talk about producers. You gotta shout out those producers that have a beat that's good with the headphones, where you can hear the 808s and the deep basses. Yeah. Or if you in that raggedy old jalopy you got, and it still sound, you're like, yo, this beat's sick. And then you hear it with the headphones for the first time, you're like, whoa, there's levels to this, right? So that being said, back to it. So beats are definitely a thing. I'm realizing now, when I look back at the artists that I like or the songs that I like, it's about that art of storytelling. When you said that it has to make sense, they have to be clever. Like there's some artists that make clever tracks, and you like it's just metaphor after metaphor. But I think what Nas did on this last album really, well, he probably been doing it for a while, but really, because I'll be honest, I was one of those cats that didn't really mess with Nas too much, because it might have been too deep, or just I needed a little bit more from the beat side, right? But as I get a little more mature in my understandings of things, I feel like that storytelling has to be on point, and he killed it with this one. The beats.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I'm just gonna go ahead and say we're talking about Nas, he's my number one, but we'll get into that. As far as the release of 2021, but what this record has caused me to do is just like really reevaluate that whole I'm not really a Nas guy thing, I'm having to reevaluate that, and I'm going back and I'm listening to stuff again, and I'm like, okay. And so it's crazy how I'm starting to develop a much more of appreciation for Nas, and to your whole storytelling thing. That's what I feel like Cole does really well. Is he tells a lot of good stories, and he kind of throws in that little, and Drake does a lot too, but I think Drake does it too much. What I'm about to say, but is that throwing a little bit of that little singing in there? Okay. They'll like sing a hook or something like that, or they'll even sing a verse.
I think there's a difference. I haven't honestly listened to too much J. Cole, just because, again, it's hit or miss with how it resonates with me. Yeah, his tracks. But when he does it, Drake is more like, I'm gonna sing.
Right.
Cole is like, check out this. He makes it more like a flow, like a melody type deal.
Right.
From what I've seen.
Exactly.
So
yeah, like so if you think about folding clothes, I want to fold clothes for you. I want to make you feel good. So that's kind of like a rap. He goes, baby, I want to do the right thing. Yeah. And it's just like, okay. It's like, I play that song, dude. The car's so loud. And it's like, Cole's singing. And he sings good, but he's really not singing. I mean, he's singing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just a good sound, right? Yeah. That he's putting out. It's just a really dope ass sound. So with that, I am going to go back to my man Sean, and let's just go ahead and go with your top 5 2021 albums. You can go into as much or as little as to why that is, but let's start with number 5, and then work your way to number 1.
No doubt. Now, full disclosure. 2 of these records, one I'm still getting into.
Okay.
But like you said, but the top 2 are like heavy rotation for me because I'm a big diehard fan of these 2 artists. Mm-hmm. My number 5 was a big surprise to me because I never really, back in the day I did, but he wasn't like top of my list. But he really came out of the gate as far as I was like, yo, I'm digging this guy's record. Like really digging this guy's record, and that's going to be Lloyd Banks with his release, The Course of the Inevitable. I never really was just big on Lloyd Banks like that. I liked his first record when the G Unit record.
Yes,
his first solo with that was hard. I actually had that in my collection, but after that, I kind of just lost touch with Lloyd. Mm-hmm. But I'm really shocked with how good this record was, man. He came with some hard bars on that one, so that's my number 5. Number 4, I'm gonna have to put this new Bodie James record with he got with The Alchemist. It's called Bo Jackson. That record is tough. So if you haven't been listening to that, check that out, especially if you like bars. It's Alchemist, bro. Like, come on, man. Like he don't miss on the beats. He's been killing it in the last couple of years, man. Like just from Freddie Gibbs to his yacht. What's it, Yacht Rock? Releases that he's been doing at Yacht Music. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's been doing a lot of good stuff, and this is another one in his arsenal. My number 3 is the one I put you on, The Sky Zoo. Mm-hmm. All the Brilliant Things. That record is just tough. But like I said, those 3 I'm still like really just dissecting. But the 2 that I've been listening to heavy this year is going to be Tyler the Creator. Call Me If You Get Lost. That record is dope. That's heavy in my rotation. But yeah, man, Nas King's Disease 2. That's been the one that's been repeat. And that's like a 2-parter record when you really look at it. Because in the first half, he's got like bangers. But as soon as you get the store run, he gets to that Nas that you always know, soulful, stuff like that. And that's like the music that you can just do on a daily. That's that brunch on Sunday type of music. Something you can just chill to. Mm-hmm. So he did a real nice job on that one. So that's my 5 for now.
Much love, much respect. Good list, man. A couple of things that you made me think about. Now I did listen to Lloyd Banks' new one. He didn't make my top 5, but it was really good. And what it made me do, because I'd forgotten about Lloyd Banks.
Yeah.
And so again, what it made me do was go back and listen to that first one he dropped after G Unit, and I'm just like, that was hard. So what I think the mistake I started making is I start trying to compare, right?
Oh, okay.
Compare what he did then and then what he's doing right now, and it's like, well, it's easier to like what he did before because I heard those songs, I know them, and they give me like a good vibe. Whereas just when you're listening to a song, something for the first time, you just, like you say, still trying to figure it out, right? Trying to figure out if you like, you listening to all the bars and stuff like that. And so it's probably not fair right now. I'm gonna listen to it more, but that's a honorable mention for me. All right, Sir Locks, you're up, my man.
So Locks did not understand the assignment.
You do understand this type.
But it's all good.
No, you got some off the dome. Can you go off the dome with
Yeah.
this?
Well, I mean, that's the
Did you
so we
get
gonna put
fined?
Nas. We gonna say
Well, I
honestly.
think I'm sorry, not to cut
Like,
you off. I
okay.
think I think maybe, and correct me if I'm wrong. When I put out the initial list in that thread, I asked, where do you rank these songs? So is that where you were thinking? Are those albums? Were you thinking, okay, we got these 4 or 5 albums. I need to rank these, not just pulling, from whatever you want. Is that
No,
what you thought?
I think I opened up one of the messages half asleep and I didn't go back and catch
Okay.
up. I'm being honest with y'all tonight. So look, but I thought we was gonna come on here and talk hip hop and we could kind of go over rehash that top 5 lyricists conversation. But
We can go there if you want to. I got
you
some
know,
stuff written down.
I've been digging.
My guy is so.
Because I've been digging in the crates and just listening to a lot of the legends. So, and I think what you said, Greg, when you I went back and you start comparing. You're going against nostalgia and stuff, but you just trying to fill out what I missed. Why did I stop listening to this cat? What happened?
Yeah.
Did they fall off and now they just came back and that's cool. And I shouldn't even say fall off because it's an art form.
Right.
A couple of I've been listening to a couple people in the industry. They talk about it we got to stop saying rappers fell off. Just respect the art. You did what you did, and you're doing it better than half the people can. So I'm not gonna say that's a bad painting. I'm just gonna say it's not the painting that goes up in my house, right? So
right. Yo, real quick before you continue,
yeah.
I was telling Sean that I got a real. I'm not very good at this. I'm still working on it. But a couple people put some comments in the chat, and I want to shout them out real quick, so we know I see them. So my old squad leader back in the day when I was like a baby Marine, and he used to haze me all the time. Edwin Rodriguez put something in the chat. He goes, Nas is a prophet. He put that in the chat. So shout out to my man Edwin. I appreciate you. Latoya Bowen. Good topic. She says, I am a Nas fan. And then she puts in Raheem is another.
Rakim.
I'm sorry, Rakim. Yeah.
Latoya, I see you.
Yeah, I saw him live.
Can you guys see the comments? See the chats?
Only on ones on Facebook.
Let me see.
Yeah, on Facebook, yeah.
Oh wait, actually, no, I can see these in here too. Yeah.
Yeah, I see him.
If you open up the Facebook comments, you can see the chats in there. So
salute, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Nas, that's what's up.
That's great.
That's what's up.
All right, Locks. Sorry to cut you off, but I had to show some love to some of my faithful followers.
Absolutely. So I think honestly, any album that dropped this year, I think Nas might have been the only album that I've listened to that's come out. I know we're already in September, but that might be the only new album I've listened to.
Right.
I still was listening to some 2020 stuff. The gentleman out from Southwest Houston, Texas. How you say it? SWAT. But Toby Nwewe. I don't know if y'all had a chance to listen to him yet.
That's my guy.
Yeah.
I got him on the IG, man. He put some dope stuff on IG too. Him and his wife and his kids.
That's why I love the energy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna link it to you. Like I said, it's just been 2020. I think he had like 1 or 2 songs that he dropped. He's an underground artist from the streets, right? Where he just dropped a lot of music. He had a weekly show where he would, come out with new music and do his thing. But he always rocks with his family, and that energy is just so respectful. Got his kids in the videos,
Yeah.
So it's a new image. It's the right image.
And he's real unique. I think he's not like any cat you see, from the South.
Yeah.
But he's good though. But he has that sort of like that Southern twang still too at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
It's real.
That's just the way I see it. I'm sorry if you don't see it that way.
No, he sounds Southern, but you gotta just listen to him, man.
Yeah.
So, I don't have. So I've been listening to him. I listened to Nas' album. I think it's phenomenal. I purposely, to your other point earlier, there's so much music coming out. If you don't block off and say I'm just gonna listen to this,
right,
you're not gonna get to really appreciate it. So that's one thing. I went back and I've been listening to a lot of Beanie Siegel because I know he recently came out and did a podcast with
So you went back and listened to it. So what do you think? What are you thinking?
That's when I really had that epiphany that I'm really loving storytelling. I was like, Beanie does some great storytelling. Like I thought he just had some slick words back in the day, and he was just like, he's gonna kill you with his metaphors. But then you start to look at his whole catalog, you're like,
yo, the beat coming, I still go to that one.
Yeah, like I had
that record's tough.
I went back and listened to that one, and then I was like, forever, I would say The Truth was the best album, just because it was the first one. I probably played that, bought that CD twice.
Ain't gonna argue that.
But that maturity and that completeness, like, and he called it out too in one of his recent interviews, was there. And then Jadakiss, I had to go back after. I know we're gonna talk about the Locks vs. Dipset later.
Yeah.
But goodness gracious,
we're a little late, but yeah, goodness gracious.
Yo, Jada, that kiss of death. Yo, I had that in my collection back in the day too, man. Like, By Your Side, the track that Alchemist did, Air It Out. That track is dope. Like that whole record, that's classic Jada right there. That's probably my favorite Jadakiss record that he did.
And that's what
you really have to I mean, it's one thing to have good songs, good bars, that just like that swag. Because Jada's just like cool, man.
Yeah, man. He got that raspy voice too.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. And the voice, like
unique.
Having a rap voice is a thing. I think some people can rhyme and and make sense and sound good, but they don't sound good. It's like your voice is ass. It's hard. It's hard. I don't know. It's just weird. But he just has a very unique. If he's one of those rappers, there's a lot of rappers that are like this that you probably know, but when he comes on, you know who that is.
Yeah.
So let's say if he was a feature on, you listen to somebody else, right? And you don't know who's going to be featured on there. He starts going like, Jada's on here.
Yeah.
As soon as you hear that ad lib, you happy.
I think you would appreciate Conway, man, because Conway is killing right now. He's got a distinctive voice. He's got that raspy gutter type of voice. So like I said, man, from a king to a god. If you ain't listened to that record yet, do yourself a treat. Treat yourself, man, with that one.
Yeah, so you guys are the hip hop heads, man. I'm just taking notes and trying okay, I gotta go back to this cat, because again, going back to it's like there's so much out there, and there's so much garbage, right? There's so much that's like, God, what is this? Like I was talking about riding around the car with my son and the stuff he listens to, and I'm like, man, am I turning into that old guy that doesn't think that what the kids listen to is real music? Like, am I? No, man. Am I that guy?
Nah, I don't think you're doing that. What I think is, I don't think that the whole back in my day,
right,
blah blah blah. Everybody was. That's not true, man. You had your party records too. I mean, let's think about like a Rob Bass or something like that. You got party tracks back in the day too. Biz Marquee, party stuff. Yeah. Sir Mix-a-Lot, that's a party record. He wasn't necessarily lyrical, but we got down with it. So right. I just think that the right now the party tracks is what the kids are gravitating toward. But you got your lyrical guys out here too. Go ahead.
Yeah. Now I was going to add. I was listening to an interview with Will Smith, and he talked about back in the day with him and Jazzy Jeff, how back then you had to have a lot of access to equipment to get a record created.
Facts.
Right. So what made it through was only the best, or only like where you can promote and target it. Now, the access of information, the access of music, there's 7 billion people and they all have access to music. So you're going to have people with 1 million views that you were like, how? But there's 7 billion people to make it happen.
You're like, I've never even heard that before.
Yeah.
Right. Natalia says, I'm old school. What y'all think about KRS-One, Public Enemy, Dougie Fresh?
You know what? I wasn't listening to I wasn't listening to Dougie Fresh, but I was listening to Criminal Minded the other day. And I was going in on the Bridges Over in South Bronx. So but currently on my phone what I've been bumping in the whip lately it's been a lot of like late 80s, early 90s stuff. Like I've been going back. Like majority of the stuff on my phone when I go in the car. Like I'm trying to be the weird dude. Right. I'm trying to be the dude because I'm listening to a lot of Tribe right now. I'm like I'm going like way.
I went through that phase like 6 months ago, bro.
Yeah, I just like for me, Low End Theory's always been my favorite record, and it still is when it comes to Tribe. But I've been looking at People's Instinctive Travels different. I'm like, yo, man, like I used to like hold Low End Theory like way up here as their magnum opus, but now I'm looking at man, People's Instinctive Travels is like right there. Like I'm going like from, of course you got Bonita, but Pubic Enemy, like I'm playing Pubic Enemy hard. Like I'll bump that like down the street, and I don't care who. I don't care who is listening. I'm jamming.
Hey, let me tell you, all those artists you just mentioned, I love all of them. It's crazy because like I was mentioning before, so you forget about the people that you liked when you grew up. Whenever you guys all watched that the Evolution of Hip Hop on Netflix, right?
A while ago.
Oh my God. If you have not seen that, you have to go watch it. It has like several it starts at the beginning. New York in the 70s.
It's an older one, so it's been a while since I watched it though. But I'm familiar.
When they went down to like BA and they focused on like Pharrell and Missy and all them.
They did everybody, dude.
I seen a couple episodes.
Yeah, they do the down south. And they do, it's the whole evolution.
Exactly. Now, when I watched that, it made me realize one, how fucking old I am, and then two, I was like, there's just so many people that I liked and that I forgot about. I forgot that I liked them, and you go back and start listening to it, and it's just like, man. And then you sort of like, because when they start doing all the beef stuff, right? And then the East Coast, West Coast, or different styles and all this stuff. People hating on Will Smith because of the way, what his like, bubblegum rhymes or whatever you want to call it, And so, and I remember going through like those phases of not liking a certain type of genre of hip hop for whatever reason, right? And kind of going back and forth. But in the reality, as I'm old now, and I watched that special, I was like, I liked all of it. I liked all of it, whether it was cheesy, whether when it was hot at the time, it was cool. And sometimes it takes you like being away from it for a long time, just to like, man, I remember that song. That was my shit, right? Yeah. And so like the
first time you discovered you like country music, even though you wasn't supposed to,
right?
And then you was like, hold on a second,
it's happened. Yes, that's happened to me. There's this song that my kids play in the car all the time too. Dad, play this one. I'm like, all right. The first time they asked me to play it, and it came on. Before it was over, I'm sitting there like saying the chorus line. And so now every time they ask me to play, oh yeah, let's play that one. Let's play that one. And it's a damn little cool country song. But country is just like rap, right? A little bit slower.
I gotta get into it. I think
they rhyme, don't they?
Yeah, the closest thing to country music that I've listened to.
He was like Nelly and
Nelly, yep.
Nelly, country grammar.
I saw that coming.
Only you know what? I only listened to that Old Town Road track when Nas was featured on it, because he's got so many versions of it, and Nas is on one of them. So I was like, oh man, the song's been out for years, different versions, different remixes. I never gave it a chance. I was like, oh shit, he got Nas on a remix. Let me listen to this. I was like, all right, this is dope. So man, sometimes, and that's cool. Sometimes you even, and that's cool as far as like collaborations go, because it's like you gotta like, the way I got pulled in was because I saw somebody that I was familiar with, that I respected. So I was never even going to give it a chance. And I'm like, oh, until this name is next to it. So I was like, all right, let me give this a shot finally. Because I'm always trying to be different. If everyone's going right, I'm trying to go left.
Right.
So I've always been that dude. So if it's popular, I'm trying to stay away from it, and I'm trying to find, okay, right, what's underneath the ground? Like what are people not doing that, maybe I can like gravitate towards. So I've always kind of been like on an oddball like that.
All right.
Well, I think the other cool thing too is that like some of the people that are popular now have been to that place that you're talking about, right? and they still sort of stick to their roots on as far as their art and the way that they the way they process their art and the way that they put it out there. I remember I don't know, it was a doc. I bring up Cole a lot because I like J. Cole a lot, but I saw one interview he was talking about when he was like just talking about coming to South by Southwest, here in Austin, just like nobody knowing who he was, and just trying to get on, just trying to go out and perform. And me and my buddy, whenever we go down there for South by, we'd always find we wouldn't buy the whole like pass to go see all all the cool people. We would just like go in some of the bars, and they're always got like just becoming artists performing, and we like those shows, man. A lot of good hip hop artists that you'd never even heard of just come up and like, damn, somebody got to put that dude on, But that's what we like doing.
All right, last name. No, none of y'all heard this. I don't even think anybody listening heard this one. His name is Andy Mineo. Mineo.
No, I ain't heard him.
I know. It's a Christian rapper.
What was the first name you said? Andy?
Yeah, Andy.
Okay. Sound like a white boy.
Andy Milonakis pulled up.
He is. But he does this thing. He got this song called Rhymin' and Ramen. Talks about that Neverland album. Happy Thoughts was his last album last year. Stuff you can listen to and everybody can jam out to. So
check him out.
Wordplay's on point.
When I put in Andy in Google, the first thing that came up was Andy Dalton. I couldn't believe that. Like, is he the most popular Andy right now in America? Andy Dalton, quarterback with the Bears.
According to Google.
Andy Dalton, probably so.
He got hurt, so he's done. He may be done for a while. So the rookie's going to get to play. All right.
All right. What about your list, Greg?
Oh, he is white. At least he's at least mixed. Yeah, he's not white.
He's an 80s baby. He's cool with me.
So is he a singer or rapper or what? Both?
Rapper. I promise he's a rapper.
Yeah, all right. I'm putting it on tonight, bro. I'm putting it on tonight. So I love hearing about these new folks that I never heard of. So that's good. All right. So let me get to mine real quick. It won't be quick. I reserve the right to change this at any moment in the next 3 months. Something else. I keep hearing Kendrick is coming out with something new.
Yeah, the year ain't done, man.
What's that? Right.
The year ain't done. So
is not over.
Oh, we got to do a 2021 recap.
Yeah, it's getting close, but it's not quite there. Right now, I have to admit that I had to knock somebody out and add one to the list after I heard that Sky Zoo. I was like, wow. I was blown away by that cat, bro.
Who's the honorable mention? Who's the one that got kicked out? Who's the honorable mention?
I kicked out. Who did I kick? I kicked out Lloyd Banks.
Okay.
But real quick. So, and then Sean had put one in his ones on his list that I was sort of teetering with, and then I was like, yeah, because I hadn't listened to it all. When you first put this in there, I was like, yeah, I was listening to that, and it was dope, but I didn't get to finish it, right? And that's Tyler, the Creator. Tyler, Creator.
Tyler. Yeah.
And he's a younger cat, so I don't listen to him a lot, but I think somebody else was telling me about it. I was listening to it, but then when you mentioned it, I was like, let me go back in there. But it's really good.
He's dope, man.
Yeah.
He's been on a 3-album run.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, if you listen to his first records when he came out back in like 2009 or whatever like that, his first 3-4 records, if you tell me you don't like those, I'm not going to argue with you. I think he's not, because I even think those are dope.
Right.
But as far as his last 3 records, like if you don't like those, then I'm like, all right, man.
We can't even have a conversation, right?
There's just no hope, because it's not even like just the bars. It's more just like the artistic direction that he's going in. Like I said, as far as storytelling goes, he has a whole record that will go through the story with his last album, Igor, that came out in 2019. He drops on a consistent basis. He drops every 2 years. So yeah, man, I'm glad you like that one.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope. Now, my number 4, and it's as much as I try to hate on this dude, and this kind of ties into Sean, where you talking about, like, you know, not liking the popular guy, trying to get him to the ground. Every time I try to hate on this dude, dog, I just feel like he just comes hard, and he's undeniable, and that's Drake.
Yeah, I
think
that.
Man, he's. Did you say he's whack? Is that what you said?
No, I said I knew that.
Oh, you knew that? Okay, yeah. I just, man, like I try to hate on him because I don't know why I don't like the way he looks or something. I don't know. Maybe I think a part of me feels like he don't even look like he don't look like a rapper, right? Or a hip, you know. And really, he's a pop figure, you know, at this point, right? And I mean, did you see this fool's got out of the 10 records in the top 10 Billboard, he's got 9 of them.
That's sick.
Look at the Billboard, cool, like top 10 or 100 right now. The Billboard 100. At least this was like 3 or 4 days ago. He's got 9 from his last album, and so I'm just like, man, is it that good? Like, I don't know if it's that good, but it's pretty damn good. And again, it goes the beats and the bar. He's just clever, dude.
Yeah, it don't really mean much. I mean, I learned back in the day that Vanilla Ice had a #1 record. As soon as I learned that, I was like, oh, these numbers really don't matter. I'm looking at the art.
Right.
I guess I got to play devil's advocate a little bit. Since the jump, I've never been a Drake fan, but I've also never been a Drake hater. You know what I'm saying?
Top 10.
Yeah. Is he in my top 10? No.
No. I'm saying he's top 10. It's not. You said 9 out of 10. Right now, it's 10 out of 10.
Oh, it's 10. So he's got all of them.
Oh, is he 10 out of 10 right now? Yeah, that's crazy.
That's dope.
That's crazy.
But, yeah, but with Drake, just focusing on the topic, this new record, I first heard it kind of like what we were talking about earlier. You know, you listening to your car, right?
Right.
First time I listened to this new record, I didn't listen to it in my car. So I was like, oh man, this is some old bullshit, which, you know, I'm just like, all right, cool. But when I went out with my homeboy and he was banging it, I was like, yo, man, I'm still not feeling Drake as far as the lyrics go and the storytelling and all that good stuff. But man, I'm looking at these beats different. Like, cause I was like, man, and that's that kind of music. Like, you know, when you out and you just party and stuff like that, you know, that's the time for me to listen to that music, you know? So I was like, all right, man, it makes more sense, you know, when you got it in a system like this. But if I'm just like gonna jam it on my phone as I'm like trying to like, you know, do my work, it doesn't work for me personally. But I see why that demographic exists, man. It's there for a particular reason. Yeah. So yeah, man, I'm not gonna hate on Drake on his new album. I'm just saying it's not in my personal list. Right. But yo, man, for sure. Yeah, if he's winning, man. Yeah, but again, and that's all the things you kind of mentioned. Like that's, you want to hate those guys, right? So I try to hate on them, but when I listen, and unlike you, I really appreciate, you know, I feel like he's real clever with his lyrics and some of the things that he says. And his word. I'm on your ass like back, like what does it say? I'm on your ass like back pockets.
Yeah. the word play, I think it's kind of funny sometimes too, and it's just clever. But I you know, and again, we're just talking this year, right? Yeah. So I thought it's a good rate, and it's a little bit too long, but you know, and then he does some of the typical Drake stuff where he's singing, but there's a lot of songs that go really hard, and that's important to me.
When do we real quick, Greg? I know it's your show.
No, go ahead.
Are we going to talk about in the future ghostwriters, or if you write your own stuff, where that plays into things?
Is he famous for that? Is he known for having a bunch of ghostwriters? What is Weezy right now?
I don't know if it's been certified. I don't know if it's been like confirmed, but I just know that's a.
Okay. Well, that matters to me a lot then. Because that's not really the dude I thought he was.
Yeah, that's like breaking news, like way back. Like,
oh, is it? Yeah, I've probably heard that, but I don't know. But then again, I guess there's something to be said for the delivery. right? A lot of people don't know that Jay-Z wrote Still, Snoop and Dre. Start to finish.
Well, actually, they do, because
go look at the credits on that.
It's been well known that Dre doesn't write his own rhymes. He's never been shy about that. Like if you listen, it's so funny with Dre, right? Mm-hmm. If you look at Dre's career, he's very calculated. Like early 90s, he found Snoop. He comes out with The Chronic. He finds Eminem. He comes out with 2001. We wait for Detox forever. He's so meticulous. He's like, but then it's not until he finds Kendrick that he releases Compton. Mm-hmm. And guess who he sounds like on Compton? He sounds like Kendrick. Mm-hmm. Like Dre even said that he was in the studio with Kendrick one time. And Kendrick was writing some rhymes. He was going over. He's like, man, this shit whack. He threw it in the trash. Dr. Dre took it out of the trash. He was like, yo, this shit's kind of nice. And then he did it.
He did it. Yeah. Yeah.
So Dre is very calculated, man.
No, I always knew Drake. Drake wasn't like, I'm not Drake, but Dre wasn't like a real rapper. He's more like a producer. I remember back, Michelle A. and what was that group he was in? The World Class Wrecking Crew. I'm old enough to know that shit. And that's what Drake was like. I mean, not Drake, I keep saying Drake, but Dre was wearing all that stuff. But I was kind of speaking to like, ghostwriters and people writing for other people. And then I brought the whole Jay-Z writing that song for Snoop and Drake. Just Dre. I keep saying Drake. Dr. Dre. I just saying Dr. Snoop and Dr. Dre. Still, it's amazing to me how like, because if you listen to those lyrics, they're very West Coast, everything, right? And then you got Jay-Z, who somehow finds a way to channel his inner Snoop and Dr. Dre. So everything that Dre says in that song, everything that Snoop says, and this is what Snoop said, that Snoop says in that song came from Jay-Z. He said, man, that was all him. I just went in there and just said the words.
Yeah.
So I just think that's just crazy. So you've got obviously you got the mind there, but there's something to be said about the delivery, because the way that song is delivered, that's who was meant to say those words in that song. The chorus and everything, those guys were meant for that. Jay-Z could never pull that song off, right? Himself. And so, I mean, there's some folks out there that don't do it, but he's if I would be interested to know like what he's really capable of, because I would be okay if somebody's gave me something, but I know I can do this shit myself, but I can appreciate what somebody else wrote for me, and I'll say that shit. But I know if I had to do it myself, I can go do it.
Yeah.
So I would be interested to know like how much of that happens for him, because like I said, I like the cleverness of this thing. But you made me forget about. I was going over our Sky Zoo. Again, just goes hard. I'm gonna listen to that more and talk about him more later. The off season is my number 2, J. Cole. The off season, again, I'm a little biased to Jay. I got turned on to him really, really late, like 4th album in. I think is when I really got into and started going back. Like I said before, I go back and saw his old stuff. How did I miss this? Right? It's just I'm just getting old. That's why I'm missing stuff. But I beats, bars, and goosebumps in this song. Another person who has one of those voices, and we already talked about his crew getting destroyed at that versus battle, is Cameron.
Yeah,
so Cameron comes on one of his tracks. And all he says is "killer." He does that, and I was like, "Oh shit, Cameron's on there!" And he really didn't have a major part in it. But again, it caught my attention because it's at the beginning of the album. It's one of the first, the first.
You're talking about 95 South.
Yeah, it's one of the first couple songs in there, and so, and again, every time I think that, well, he can't do another really good one, and I listen to it, it's like, yeah, it's really good. I like it. So, J. Cole number 2 for me, and then Nas again number 1, hands down. Just I can't even put into words. Like I think that I put that in our thread. I think this is the album of the year, period. Right? But that's just me.
Hard.
I'll give him that.
Yeah,
now,
I mean, especially in the hip hop world, but just in music in general, it's just a masterpiece. And and he talks about himself, in the record, like not doing a bunch of features usually, but he's like, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that, put some of these young cats in here, and it sort of be like, the mentor to these guys, teach them how to do things right. And so he has some features, he has some, he goes hard over some of the newer style beats, and he matches them tick for tack, his features. He's like the way they flow, kind of new form. He just does it. He does it. And then but even without the collabs, that song Rare is my personal favorite.
It's dope.
I'm in rare form. Because he kind of there's 3 different beats in that song almost. And there's 3 different way he delivers his bars, obviously compared to the beat. And you put that song on, dude, in your car, especially that last little segment, I want to just cry because I'm just feeling it, dog. But yeah, and then the other collab, and it's funny because obviously for me, I thought Kanye's, and he didn't make my list, was a little bit disappointing. But him and Nas both had a sort of a Lauryn Hill feature on their records, right? And so when I was listening, I listened to Kanye's first. I think did Kanye's come out first?
Nah, Nas came first.
Oh no, I listened. There was a song, the Lauryn Hill song got leaked, and I was listening to that one, right? And it just really made me I wasn't even really feeling the record, but when she came on, because it's a sample of some of her old stuff, right? I said,
you talking about the Ye song or the Nas song? You talking about the Ye song?
The Ye song. Right. It's got a sample, right? And so it made me want to go back and listen to the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. As soon as she came on, I was all right. I'm done with Kanye. I don't want to hear anymore. I'm going to go back to listen to some Lauryn Hill because she ain't been out there in a while, right?
Yeah.
But Nas comes with her fresh.
Yeah.
Right. This is Lauryn Hill right now.
Yeah.
And again, I was blown away just by her. Well, first I'm blown away by the fact that he's got her on here because she hasn't done anything in forever, at least that I've seen, right? And when she put out when she's with the Fugees, I thought she gave a phenomenal performance on the score. I think she made that record, right?
Of course.
She made the score, right? That was her.
Wyclef
is good. They're good to go, but the score is Lauren. That's just her. She made that pop, right? So then she comes out with the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Again, one of my favorites of all time. To me, it's just a masterpiece. She was kind of really one of the first ones, and maybe all male and female, but a person that could really rap and could really sing both
and compose.
It's just and she came with bars too, right?
There's some controversy behind that composed
really?
part.
Did someone?
Yeah.
Go ahead, speak it.
I forgot who it was, man. It's a producer. Forgot who it is, man. He's big now, but he's not big, but he's moved on since that record. But if you watch, what is it? It's on YouTube. I think it's Red Bull Music, where they've interviewed people like Q-Tip, D'Angelo, Erykah Badu, and this guy, all different interviews. But a lot of people got screwed out of that Lauryn Hill record. The record labels wanted to make her look like Prince, so a lot of people didn't get credit for that record. A lot of people that did the instruments and stuff like that. It was a whole controversy. She got sued. I think even Just Blaze. And this is no knock on Lauryn Hill because she, like you said, she's amazing. She's top tier.
Right.
But just the misconception of what the record labels were trying to do with her, it just put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths within the industry.
Right.
So there's that stigma there. So, I mean, and she does compose too. She plays guitar. She does all of that. But as far as that record, it's not all Lauryn Hill as it was like publicized to be. There's a lot of people that didn't get their just due on that record that really played big integral parts on that record. So, you know, and I'm not in her camp, so I can't say if that's part of the reason she stepped away.
Right.
But just that whole moment, I can assume that kind of put a bad taste in his mouth to walk away. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah. Maybe that's what it was. But anyway, yeah, she comes on the Nas record and it's just gives an amazing performance. And so, but yeah, I kind of want to throw the yay in there real quick because, I guess some good songs in there, you know. But again, for me, I don't want there to be like 30 songs I got to get through, man.
It's true.
You know, that was a lot. Like, I think I was driving to Houston listening to it and it just, I was like, okay, I can't finish it. Like, because you're ready to move on to something else, right? But it just goes on and on and on and on. But
it's
I mean, again, it's okay. It is definitely a journey. But remember the last time he was like doing some shit, he was only like putting like 7 songs on it. In the artists he worked with, he only like 7 or 9 songs on it. I think that one that Pusha T one they did only had a few songs on it.
That record is hard. Like,
yeah.
Like that Daytona,
for sure.
Like that was nice.
Did he do one with Nas that only had like 9 songs? Did one
with Nas.
Yeah.
Personally, not one of my favorite Nas records.
Right.
But that's only because it was a rushed album. You know, if you go to my channel, which is in my name, Poster Shot, I do have it's right before, or it's right when King's Disease 1 came out. I did like a ranking of his discography, and there was 11 albums at that time, and Nasir was number 10, the one he did with Kanye. The reason, and my reason is that, you know, it was just a rushed album. You know, it didn't seem like there are these 2 artists on 2 different timelines, and this was really Kanye's time when you think about it. You know, so, but yeah, man, overall, I think that whole seven album thing that they were doing weekly, that was a dope moment. You got Kids See Ghosts, that was dope. The Daytona record, that's probably the best one to come out of that run, though, out of that whole thing.
For sure, man. But yeah, Locks, what you got? It's been a minute.
No,
what are your thoughts on that issue?
I mean, we could talk for hours on Kanye, but you know, I was just saying, it's a journey. You have to you got to sit down like it's class time to listen to Kanye nowadays. You got all right, I need to make sure I know where he's going with this track. It doesn't always, the album doesn't always flow. He's just, so you just got to be there ready to jump from. It's like when you're watching a TV show, and for those who got commercials nowadays, it's like when you're watching a TV show and then also when the commercial come on, it's like 1,000 volume at 1,000, but the TV was like, your show was at 20. Sometimes you just be jumping with Kanye, so you just like, all right. It don't mean it's bad. It's just like, wait a second, I'm gonna need to process this. So I get when you say I'm gonna go somewhere else and listen to someone else. But Nas album, if we talk about Nas album,
let's go ahead and get your piece in on Nas, man.
What's the track? With him, EPMD and M.
Oh, with Eminem.
EPMD 2.
Yes,
yeah. Like the way that whole thing just kept getting better. Yeah. It just kept getting better, and I was just like, okay. So I try, like I said, I don't try to skip any tracks. I don't try to repeat any tracks the first time, but I repeated that one a couple times because I just love the homage and the like brotherhood on that one.
Yes. I can't believe I didn't even mention that one, man. Let me tell you, I remember I had the "You Got to Chill" cassette, and that was what I played. And whenever I was in, I didn't have my own car, but my buddy's car or whoever, that's what I put in all the time. And I just love EPMD, everything they put out, even in the later years, man. Eric Sermon, I'm a huge fan of his and his flow and all that stuff, right? So when that song when they come on, that was my first goosebump moment of this record, right? And I'm like, oh shit, they don't even have a lot. Their segment is really short.
Yeah.
But it's just them. It's them and it sounds good. Yeah. And then And another one of those guys, but I mean, I came to this realization a long time ago. This guy is the truth. But I used to try to hate on him all the time when he first came out. Was Eminem? Hate on him, right? Yeah. But a long time ago, I developed a really strong appreciation for his art. And this verse, dude, it just goes hard, man. Like, and then so he, so the wordplay and metaphors are always good, but he shots out he shots out his like top 5 list, right?
Yep.
It kind of just says, I hope to be included in these. It's more. It was like more than 5 that he spit. But first he shouted out. He shouted out the people that died recently, and then he shouted out, the Coles and the Jays and the Drakes and the Waynes, and that flow. He's like, and the way he just put that together, man. I was just like, yeah, man, you're included in that group. You're included, and again, that's one of the bases make that face right here when they're doing like, what?
Yeah.
So I thought that was a really good wordplay and cadence. I thought that was a really good verse. It really was.
Yeah, I've always been, although I go against the grain. I think Eminem was one of those artists that I did gravitate toward when he first came out back in 99, 2000, because he was against the grain.
Right.
So it wasn't. So for me, it's more like if it's widespread popular from like some, just to sell records kind of a mentality. That's what I'm kind of like, this is where the mindless people are going. Like, I'm a thinker, or something along those lines.
Right.
But with Eminem, I was on board. At least for those first 3 records, I was on board. After that, I feel like he kind of took a dip. But yeah, man, he's one of those dudes, man. He's probably not in my top 10. If I really had to think about it, he would probably be in my top 15. Because I got to consider 3 Stacks. I got to consider Big Boy. I got to consider, the Q-Tips, the Raekwons. As soon as I start like really thinking about it, his name starts to go down a little bit.
Yeah.
But I would be comfortable putting him in like a top, 15, 20, somewhere in there as far as MCs go.
He's definitely one of the best.
It's tricky because this is controversial. It's tricky because I don't know if I've been able to understand him and get his perspective, because again, artist storytelling and just having a design to his tracks, right? I don't know how many times I've ever envisioned myself in one of his stories, though. So I'd have to go back and listen. Like, I mean, I think we've all had beef and issues with parents and stuff like that, but some of the stuff he says is just wild and just shock factor. And you're like, okay. And the wordplay was nice. And you're like, okay. So I can see why you're saying maybe not top 10, but that's one of my things is like, he's nice, but I just don't really ever relate to him. And I'm not trying to be like race or anything. It's just his content has never been.
I get that. I would say listen to a track like Till I Collapse off of the Eminem Show, because he does the exact same thing. He does the exact same thing he did on this record.
Yeah.
On that record, and that was like back in 2002. The Reggies, the Jay-Z's, and the Bronx and Biggie. Yeah, and that one, he's still questioning, do I belong with the top tier? So he does the same thing on Till I Collapse. Man.
You said that, I take that back, because I remember sometimes when he's talking about the pressures of life, like as a kid, but like as an adult with family and working and stuff, sometimes he'll drop a track or two that's like talking about, I think it was the song he did with Lil Wayne. I'll pick the world up and drop it on his head, right? Like, I think that one was like, okay, man, he's going through some stresses. I could relate, and you just kind of push through it. So, as an adult, I relate to him more than I did as a kid. I'll put it that way.
For sure.
And y'all know me. I used to, I still do it sometimes, but I used to rap. So when you think about a song like "Lose Yourself," just the pressure of not being white, not being black, just being an MC, or just just the pressure. Your palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. Right. He's painting the picture. He's setting the tone of what that pressure is. So I've always related to him in that way. Same thing with the way I am.
I am whatever you say I am. I quoted that too many times to people. I sit back with this pack of zigzags and this bag and this weed, all this shit. I'm like, yo, man, I'm doing the same thing. Shit.
Nice.
You're right. He's multifaceted. I think that's the more, like you said, the more I think about it, I got to rethink my life.
Yeah, but, and people, and some people just have like a certain degree of charisma.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the shock factor, and that's a part of it too. Sometimes I don't know if that's intentional, just to like, what we would call today, say, to get clicks. I mean, back then you didn't get clicks, but is that something you just do to get clicks? Just to outrage and just like say something crazy, like like blowing your mom's head off or some shit.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever said that literally, but he talked bad about his mom a lot. But is that part of it? Let's say something's like so crazy that people can be like, raw, that's what people like. Yeah. Hi kids. That's something too. When I was hating him back in the beginning, I thought it was too like popcornish. I called him popcorn, like popcorn rap.
Yeah.
It was like, I like jokey joke and funny, kind of like Dave, Lil Dicky. Lil Dicky goes hard, man. Do y'all watch the show, Dave?
You know what? I need to watch the show. I'm hearing good things about it. It's been on my list.
That show.
It's been on my list since forever, but I just like caught it with other things I want to do and watch. That
dude, it is hilarious.
Down, but I'm gonna check it out.
It's really good, and then him and his buddy. I mean, he's got some good, and he kind of really demonstrates his talent, and he's like, I feel like he's really playing himself. It's supposed to be a fictional character, but a lot of elements are really him. I think he puts in a lot of his true story in there, but it's funny, man. It's funny, and there's some good songs that he does. He makes you kind of like up a little bit, but he's just a different type of rapper, bro. But very talented, very talented cat.
I've been holding back on it. It's been out for a while, man. I just like. It's just so much other dope shit that I'm just like,
So here's the thing. So I'm gonna let you plug your YouTube channel real quick. But like right now you're doing some reviews on an HBO series, where I'll let you talk about here in a second. But you can review Dave, dog, because you used to rap and you like to review shows and movies now. So I think you'd have a strong appreciation for the show when we're trying to go with it.
Yeah.
Because you're a deep thinker, man. You look at shit and you're not like, oh yeah, that's funny, but why is it funny? You're like, why is it funny?
Appreciate that look.
And so
I'll check it out.
The show goes deep, man. Because it goes deep into like Dave. Like imagine being like a nerdy looking white ass rapper. He's Jewish, and you don't like to really dress like a rap artist would typically rap. But it's all about him like being like, I can fucking rap with the best of them. Yeah. But he has all these insecurities about him image, but it feels like it's a bad thing to just not be yourself. And he really is himself in there. And it's just funny. There's some,
man, you got my interest, man. I'll check it out. I don't know if I'll review it.
And you should review it.
I'll check it out. Right now. I have to, I can't say if I'll review it. And that's not a knock. That's more of a like, everything I've reviewed so far, it's made me feel in a certain type of way. It's been more, not spontaneous. Well, kind of like a bell has to go off in me. Like there has to be a spark. It's like when I'm watching, it's like, yeah,
if you watch the whole series, if you watch all of season 1, I think you'll get that spark.
We'll see.
You won't get it like one episode or so, but I think you'll get it after watching it. Maybe 5 or 6 or a whole season. But anyway. Go ahead and, man, because we're already at an hour, so we don't have too much time left. But I want you to go ahead and plug your YouTube channel. You say you just dropped a new video, so talk to us a little bit about what your channel's about and how you roll.
Yeah, so ultimately it's mostly based around film and music. Right now I've been doing mostly film because that's where my audience has been popping off at. It's analytical reviews on films. It could be things from, subliminal messages in the film, certain hidden messages and things like that. Like you said, if I do Dave and I don't, if I watch the Dave show and I don't see anything analytical about it, I can still just do like a normal, natural review of the show. So that's, that's something I can put on my plate. But at some point I'm gonna start talking about music again. It's mostly just like gravitating towards either older films that inspired me when I was younger, or I'm doing something new that's current. to where I'm analyzing it, picking it apart, and then trying to get the hidden meanings behind it.
Right.
So yeah, so it's more like that. It's called Poster Shot. It's on YouTube. Just dropped a new video tonight about the second episode of Scenes from a Marriage, which is an HBO show. So hopefully y'all check that out and you check me out.
Yeah. So whether you're watching this live or you're watching the recorded version, make sure you go and like Poster Shot on YouTube. My man Sean Law reviewing TV shows and movies and taking you deep. I watched a couple episodes. I'm telling you, like, I was like, I never thought about that. Watching this movie. I'm like, damn. I'm like, Sean be watching these movies. He be really watching them.
I'll be on them, man. I'll be on them.
No, that's cool. I enjoyed it. Cause like Sean, like, so the one I watched, she's like, you know, I forget the show, but he like picks apart like all the shit in the scene, like the book they're reading and what, you know, and how that book they're reading may tie in. Because most people watching a movie, if somebody's in a scene talking and reading the book, we're not paying attention like the book, right? We're watching the characters, what they say, right? But Sean is like saying, oh, they're reading this book because of this. And then he's wearing that t-shirt, you know, because of that. So I thought that was a really deep look that I feel like most people don't even think about watching a movie.
On some Sherlock Holmes stuff. Just break down the whole room in a split second. All right, you got that going on. You got this. You see why he's wearing red on a Tuesday though? Because last week, no.
You know what? That's what it be too. That's what it be too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a good show.
No, man, appreciate the look, man. Appreciate the look.
But, I mean, that's like entendre, like, you know, double entendres when you talk about music. You know, like film, they have to put in layers of meaning and context. Right. So I get that.
So before we go, guys, let's talk a little bit about what we can do if we can do more of this, right? You know, maybe on a, you know, call it a different show, kind of like the original idea. For anybody looking and doesn't know, I mean, me and these guys right here, we're planning on doing what we're doing right now, like all the time. And you know how things get started, things fall through. COVID hit, and it was just create a mess. But really, it helped me learn about more tools I can use to make it happen, right? And so we, it fell through, and we always was doing our thing. Everybody's working and making our own channels, which I think is good, and you can keep all that. But I would really like to bring it together on a regular, go back. We created that social brothers. I think we made a whole YouTube page.
Yeah, we were serious about it.
We can stream from there. We can stream from there and just go. Now we ain't got to make the decision right now and say, hey, let's do it next week. Yeah. But I'm just saying, I want you guys to know that I want to do it still.
I'll let you know this, man. I'm down for the cause, man. I told you from the jump, Greg, that when you first invited me to your spot and I saw what you had and I saw the potential, man, I was gassed up right then and there, bro.
Right.
So, I'm down for it right now. My energy is up. I'm already in a creative space as far as my own channel goes.
Right.
So why not, be on another creative space, big up my people.
Absolutely.
And also, because I would love an opportunity to big you up in one of my videos one time. Put a link of your channel,
right,
on one of my videos. And then everybody just continues to grow. So, like I said, I'm in creative vibe right now, man. So it's a yes for me if it goes down.
Cool. Because that was kind of like my vision, man. Was just building a network, right? So you can have the freedom to do your own thing, but then network with your friends and your peers, and then just spread the love everywhere, right? So supporting each other, putting the information out there, and then growing and developing along the way, right? I mean, I know this for me. This is kind of like all over the place right now. I don't know what I want to do week in, week out, right? I'm just on. But I'm just putting stuff out there now because I just gotta find it. Sometimes I go back and look at it and it's like, oh man, that was bad, but it's like, you know what? I won't know what's bad if I don't put it out there, you know.
That's right.
You know, and you get the feedback and all that stuff. So that's just what I'm doing.
We could be a group and individual artists. Right?
Of course,
for
man.
sure.
Of course.
For sure.
Yeah. You know what? I think you will look back at this one. I think you'll appreciate this episode, man, because me personally, I felt good throughout the entire episode for the whole hour and 25 minutes we've been on.
Right.
I'm like, yo, man, like we got, the chemistry is there, the brotherhood is there. So I think you'll appreciate this one when you go back to it, man. I think you'll see you got something.
Cool, man. I appreciate that. I normally take it down on Facebook and then just let it run on YouTube. And sometimes I'll cut it up. I didn't do enough
segues.
Normally I like to break it up and do a little promo, and that way I can find those are landmarks for when I make little clips. If I do that a lot, I can make little landmarks, and that's where I cut the little shorts. But sometimes I get in the conversation and talking, I just forget, and that's okay. But again, if we're doing it together, we can learn about those little things too, right? Somebody could be punching all the right buttons, giving the right cues and all that stuff, making sure that we do the promo, every 5 or 10 minutes so we can cut it up and then just put it out there. So y'all should watch that guy. I sent y'all that link for that show. They talk about a lot of different stuff that I think we would probably talk about, but some of the stuff is really cool. And again, that was like before I even knew about them. That's what I was like thinking. That's what I wanted to look like. I wanted to look just like that. I kind of like it looks right now with us, but at the time I didn't know how to do that with the technology. But now we have it and we can do it, we ain't got to worry about coming to my house or anybody going to the other guy's house. We can all do it from home. But like I said, I like to move. I like to go on location. We can always get together somewhere on location sometime.
On a barbecue
or something like that. I didn't really, I don't know if y'all watched the one I did on the Juneteenth event in Round Rock this year, but it was really good. But that was like one of my first lives that I went out, just sort of talking about that experience. But the next time I do the Juneteenth, I'm gonna actually go out there and do it. I don't know about my internet though. I can't do it out there. Maybe if I get a hotspot or some stuff.
You need hotspots.
Yeah, that'll work. But anyway, that's kind of like what I'm thinking about. So if y'all want to do that, we can talk about that later.
Man, appreciate you having me on. It was long overdue, but
it is.
Hey man, it was a good time, man. I was like, we gotta do this, because that's one thing too. Getting older, I know I'm not older, but getting older, you gotta hold on to what's I don't want to say righteous, but like what's proper in your life, man. So, and I got mad respect for both of y'all.
Appreciate that, brother. Same.
So
I'm
here, man. When you had your boy out there, I'm big on family, man. When you had your son out there, I was like, yo,
yeah,
that's what he should be doing. Every time I go outside, I had to fight that struggle. Like, I'm gonna go out there. Hey, babe, watch the kids while I go do this. Yeah, I was like, no, I need to bring the kids with me. And
bring them with you, bro. Yeah. I'm trying to get my adult kids involved in this too, man. Just trying to figure it out, because you're right. When you get older, man, well, one, you guys will know this shit, but I have grown children, right?
Yeah.
And now that they're like out of the house and gone, I really appreciate more, or I really wish. I mean, I spent a lot of time with them, but I could have done so much more, right? Yeah. To be involved in their lives, and that's kind of like why I wanted to bring him in for that, because like he always sees me up, setting it up and talking. He's always looking like, "Dang, man, what are you doing? That looks cool," It's like, well,
I like that.
Go, man, get on here. Let's talk. Then some of his friends came on and watched and all that stuff. And so, that's what it's all about, man. We can do that. We can bring the kids. We can go on location. I'm just ready. We got to work out some of the finer details.
All right, take that offline.
Yeah, in fact, we need to see what's up with Freak, man. I thought he was going to come on tonight, but it's all good.
Hardest working man in America.
Hustling, man. Hustling.
Yeah. You still part of the crew, Freak. So whenever you're ready, just let us know, player.
It's, Halloween season. He a whole another beast. He a whole other beast right now.
Halloween comes. That's it. Hey, guys, I'm gonna let y'all, go back to your families, get some sleep, so y'all can, get out and do your thing tomorrow. But I appreciate y'all coming on. Again, this is the Greg Green live stream signing off. I got all y'all on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. For those who came by tonight, I appreciate it. Thanks for meeting, listen to my friends Sean and Sir Locks. They will be back. Sounds like we're going to have a different platform to do. So be on the lookout for the Social Brothers, aka Soul Bros.
Yeah.
We just got to work it out. So I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all next time, man.
Salute.